Toobaygood Racing presents Show Us Your Tips midweek preview time, looking at Sandown Hillside this afternoon. Beaver, how are you, mate?
Yeah, pretty good, mates. Can't complain.
A little bit of sunlight
Yeah,
out today, which is a nice change.
Yes, mates. Good to see a little bit of sun and hopefully no rain.
Yeah, that's the key. Our thoughts with everyone doing it tough all across, I guess, the eastern seaboard at the moment. Hope everyone's staying safe, and maybe a win or two might help this afternoon. We kick off the rails in the 13-metre mark at Hillside, where we kick off on what will be a good track. And we kick off with a 1,400-metre maiden. Do you want to open the batting here?
Yeah, look, interesting little affair here. A couple of scratchings in the race, but I've settled on Jennifer Enti. Only had the two starts. Both have been reasonable efforts. Now in the Mar Eustace stable, Jamie Carr aboard. Yeah, a bit of money around for it, and I think it's worth watching. So it can improve. Raced in decent company last start, so might be hard to beat here.
Yeah, cool. I liked the price much more last night, but I had Matsukaze on top, set outside lead here a couple of weeks back and was just nabbed on the line. Now it's with all the scratchings, it can definitely roll forward and give you a sight. Yeah, obviously the price is halved since I've done the form, but on top from Jennifer Enti, who, you covered off quite well there. Race 2 is a 3-year-old Class 1 over the 1,400 metres, where Toobaygood Shaw was a very nice return. And very impressive there at Pakenham, I think it was. And comes here, say a similar sort of track will suit. Just for the record, I think we might want to be up and off on this with the rail out, maybe up on pace and coming down the middle of the track would be the place to be. But I think that suits here from Jester, who was a nice enough resumption first up, but I'm probably not telling you too much. The market isn't. Beaver, what have you done?
Yeah, look, I think to be sure, looks a really good bet in this. It's resumed nicely. I think they've got a bit of an opinion of this, and certainly looks above average horse. I think it'll come across and sit where it needs to sit and be too good for these.
Race number 3 is the 3,000 metre benchmark 78. Yeah, I don't know. Do you?
I have no idea as well, mate. Look, if I had to have a pick, I'd back Convict Sam from the Archie Alexander stable. Pretty consistent of late, couple of wins not that long ago, strung a couple together. That's better than most here. So if you're going to have a bet, I'd be looking around it.
Yeah, no, that's afternoon tea time for me. The 1,300 metre benchmark 64 is race number 4, where I've got a bit more of an opinion. This is a nice little race, actually. A few lightly raced ones here with, I think, all will go on to win more races. I like the price around White Wedding. It was about $15 last night, $14 after scratchings. Nice enough winning set up here a couple of weeks back. And My Whisper resumed for the Snowden stable with a nice win at Kilmore in okay-ish time for this grade. But both come here, both are each way prices, and they'll be the two I'll be looking at. How are you looking at the race?
Yeah, no, I stuck with the favourite in this. I think it's got a little bit of ability. It won its first start in a maiden at Flemington down the straight and beat Elite Icon, which has, I think he'd actually won a race over the weekend.
Yeah, Mooney Valley, I think.
Mooney Valley, Friday night maybe, and looked to be a fairly good horse. Then at Caulfield ran in the race, won by Argentia. Was only 4 lengths off him. And then if you look at last start, it was caught wide and still finished on and probably didn't have a lot of luck in the straight and wasn't far off from the Pakenham. I think this is a very nice bet around the $3 mark. Hard to beat.
Race 5 is the mile benchmark 70, where, my best of the day comes up here. Inverell resumed a great style last time. Gets a gate to suit this track today. Jamie Carr sticks and is currently even money. Happy with Inverell. Pal Dior is in the game, depending how the track's playing. Could give you a side up on pace there, but keen to play with Inverell.
Yeah, looks to be the horse to beat in this race. Again, I think just the price has just moved as I sit here looking at it. got the service of Jamie Carr aboard, won well first up, and this is a very ordinary affair with horses that don't win very often here. So looks set up for it.
Race number 6 is 1,000-metre benchmark 64, where we see this bush horse come here from the Albury first up, big win, cruised around in okay time. It's about $2.70 at the moment. I speak of number 10 Sparring. I think I'll give you a side here. I think it's as the market suggests. So again, not suggesting to you anything untoward, but I think this might be a serious horse. Looks a nice mover, and I'm going to stick with it. You?
I've gone for the second favourite, Midnight Charm. I also thought it was equally as good first up. It didn't win B6, but probably could have won by about 3 lengths, but cruised around, coming off a pretty soft trial at Traralgon. Looks like a promising type, so I'm going to stick with it.
Well, we get to race 7 on the card, an 1,800-metre benchmark 64 again, where, look, I'm going to stick with the Waller Stable Estrada. 2 nice enough runs here. I think he just got to miss the boat a little bit last time at the mile. 1,800 will suit. Oliver on will probably roll forward close enough to leaders back here and give you a sight, I think. So putting Estrada on top. What have you done here, Beaver?
Yeah, not a race I was overly keen on. I've landed on Santiro just out of consistency and from the Paddy Payne stable. Just keeps racing well. Look, it's a strong type. It was only a length or so just off Castlereagh Kid last start. That's good form leading into a race like this before a win at Pakenham. So, look, I think if it can race up to its last start's run, I think it'll be going very close here.
Oh, helps if I unmute myself. Race 8 is a benchmark 70 over the mile. What are you doing here?
Yeah, another really tough race here. I've gone for Flanders Rain, the third favourite here from the Kamani stable, popping up nicely at the moment. Hasn't had a lot of luck in the last few runs, and this is probably a slightly weaker affair than it's been against, and hasn't been far off in most of those occasions. We've seen it in other preparations. Last preparation run some really good races. I think the track could suit here up on the pace. It'll come across and will give a very bold sight. Gets the 1.5 kilo claim, which also helps. So yeah, Flanders Rain for me. I think it ran a big race.
If we can run on by this stage of the day, I'm sticking with Rumbled again. I like its last start win. Very impressive. The last few wins been impressive to the eye. Can chime in down the outside, I'm hoping, and around the $4 mark, I'll be backing it. Flanders Rain, I'd like to see do something. I think it's a talented horse. Just sort of been we're waiting to see something from it again after its Derby prep last time. But that's it for me on this race. 1,400-metre benchmark 78 wraps up the day. The Garden's back to midweek grade from a Saturday, Beaver. Are you going to get some of that money back on it?
I'm going to have a crack at that, but it's last chance here. If
definitely.
it doesn't win this, then put a line through it. Set up for it here. Gate 9 on pace. It has been beaten by race courts, and it's going well. This is a perfect race for it. So if it does have any ability, it should be winning this.
On top for me as well. So yeah, this is the chance to maybe get some of that money back. It was starting this price on a Saturday last start, so actually shorter.
That's right.
So I think, if it doesn't win this, then there's real concerns. Good race, though. If the track is on pace, Eluding and Ferretti are in the game, and Le Chevalier is a Saturday City winner. So there's some talent here, but the Garden third up now. It's time to strike, so I'm thinking we can get some of that back. For progretracing.com.au, do you have a best and value at Sandown?
Yeah, my best was race 2, number 6, To Be Sure. Thought it was going to be the hardest to beat. And then, pretty hard to find a value bet for me today. Most of mine were in the market. So the best price that I think you might get is Flanders Rain, around $5. So that's race 8, number 6.
I'm going to make... close my notes, that's clever. I'm going to make Inverell my best of the day there. hard to beat. A couple of my value actually have been scratched, so we might make my Whisper the value for me at Sandown. Have you got anything up north? We're racing up there.
They are at
Ipswich.
Ipswich,
Yep.
which is a heavy track. A few shorties up there, but I think we can get a couple of straight up winners. So I've got race 4, number 7, Burning Bell. I think it would be hard to beat. Race 5, number 2, Whittle.
Yeah.
And then we can come home in the last with race 7, number 3, Don't Despair.
Very good. And I see Warnie's horse is running their Sacred Oath in race 2. So look through there. Good stuff, Beaver.
So shorty.
He is a shorty, yeah. I'm not suggesting it by any means, but just noticed then. So we'll be back on Thursday night to look towards Rose Hill, the lead up to the Golden Slipper Carnival, I believe, and whatever's happening in Melbourne. Should probably see that. Racing Australia, of course. I'm sure there's some good racing in Melbourne as well. As we head towards the All-Star Mile, what have we got here? Data Size Produce and the Breeders' Plate. Beauty. All right, good job, Beaver. Check out progretracing.com.au for their free tips, extensive guides, and much, much more. And we will chat to everyone very soon. Good luck, punters.